Okay, shalom, shalom. Kwam Yasha Allah, Koholoimla, Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rakahakodash. In double honor to our apostles and elders, a great millstone who rule well, and that by the Spirit taught us this beautiful truth, and just want to say the water toward the Akim and Akwaf. That's out here sincerely keeping the laws, the statutes, and commandments of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai to the best of their ability. This is Yachanan Nawach. Just coming at you with another quick lesson, praying that it's edifying by the Spirit. And this article is in Fortune. It says more Americans are going hungry now than during the pandemic, as people face a remarkable rise in food insecurity. New York Fed says there are more Americans experiencing food insecurity now than there were during the pandemic. In a survey, the New York Fed asked American households about their spending habits just as consumer sentiment reached an all-time low this month, and as the economic effects of the Iran war were starting to be felt at home. And they ain't felt nothing yet. This is just getting going. The survey asked Americans questions such as if someone in their household dipped into savings to cover expenses, had trouble finding enough food to eat, had children miss meals, received food donations, or received supplemental nutrition assistance programs, the SNAP benefits, which Trump be cutting all that. As a matter of fact, I just seen this article too. Where's that shit at? It says a new poll found 18% of people who voted for Trump say their finances have gotten worse since he took office, and the Iran war is why. Well, that's not necessarily why. The reason why is because Yahweh Bashim Shai is working his work, and he's working that work through the cruel Lord, your boy Donald Trump. It says the Fed said the results are concerning as the percentage of economic hardships increased across the board compared to when the Fed conducted the survey of consumer expectations early in the pandemic. So you doing it? The people are doing. They never really came out of the pandemic. Really, the pandemic was just a first step to where this shit is really at now. Because shit never went down. A lot of businesses went out of business. People are, their credit cards are. They're juggling credit cards. They're going into their 401ks now more than ever. It's a lot of information that's been coming out as to people just not doing well. Right? It says we find a remarkable increase in food insecurity, particularly among lower educated and lower income households and households with young children. 1/10 of respondents reported not having enough food to eat or that their children miss meals, more than double the 4% who reported so in June 2020. More than a third of households reported dipping into savings to pay for groceries, compared to just 21.8% early in the pandemic. Such financial stress reflected in concerns about affordability due to the high cost of living, persistent inflation, and high interest rates, and high delinquency rates for credit cards and auto and student loans. Yeah, this place is done, man. There's no future to this shit. Only thing you can do right now, and this is for you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, is to repent to the Father Yahweh in the name of His Son Yahweh Shai. That's it. That's all you got. Because the Lord is about to flip this place upside down, man. The findings come as more low and middle income households feel the pressure of higher housing, food costs, and experience higher effective inflation rates. Inflation reached 3.8 in April, the highest levels seen in almost 3 years. The Fed economist says the findings show signs of growing K-shaped economy as lower income Americans face financial stress and affordability issues, while higher earners seem to drive productivity and wage growth. As food insecurities increase, the researchers found that there has also been an increase in consumer pessimism. The University of Michigan monthly consumer sentiment survey fell to 44.8 this month, a rating lower than the Great Recession and the pandemic. God damn. The percentage of families who believe they will be financially better off in a year is also rapidly declining. Yet people don't have no hope. The hope is gone. Like, yeah, it'll be over with soon. It'll be over with soon. Nope. Low consumer sentiment comes as the Trump administration has celebrated what he called lifting 2.4 million Americans off of SNAP benefits. Yeah, man. A lot of those people just couldn't make the cut because them The new stipulations for getting the SNAP benefits, man. That dude, he fucked that all up for these people. It says the one big beautiful bill cut 186 billion from SNAP, golly, over 10 years, amounting to 20% funding reduction. People was already fucked up when they had the damn SNAP. So imagine now, because I had done a lesson maybe a month or so back. I'm not sure how long ago, but it was talking about how as soon as the plan, as far as Trump's plan, as soon as it hit, or the effects was like 4 or so million people, 5 million or so people, was instantly cut from SNAP, food stamps and benefits. So that right there in itself, that's gonna turn your crime levels up like crazy. But this guy, hey, he's saying he's doing the best, man. And there's a lot of so-called white people that voted for Trump that got hit with this. The cuts have hit children and the elderly particularly hard. Before the cut, they made up 39% and 20% of SNAP recipients, respectively. Additional cuts to Medicaid, Medicare, and the Affordable Care Act subsidies have also raised the cost of living for lower and middle income families. And we know this all leading up to the market of Beauty and the Beast. I guess we can go into some comments, but because they're squeezing the people into accepting this, what they would call a universal basic income, so to speak, because AI is out of control. They're taking all the damn jobs. A lot of these corporations are firing a lot of people. It's just this place is really, that poly crisis is really in effect, man. There's a lot going on real fast right now. So let's just go into the scriptures. And you ain't seen nothing yet, man, because again, this is one of the things that Yahweh Shai spoke of. This is a prophecy coming to pass. When the Lord spoke of famines. So Matthew 24:3, it says, and as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, tell us, when shall these things be? And what shall be the sign of thy coming and the end of the world? And Yahweh Shai answered and said unto them, and when we say Yahweh Shai, that's the true name of the Son, not Jesus. There's no letter J in Hebrew, no letter E, O, U, or V in the Hebrew alphabet. And the letter J was invented in 1524 by a grammarian named Giorgio Trissino. So 2,000 years ago, no one was saying Jesus, James, or Joshua, or John, or none of those names existed because there's no letter J in the Hebrew alphabet. But anyway, we use that name. The true name of the Father is Yahweh, which means that he exists, or the existing one. And the true name of his Son is Yahweh Shai. Okay, but it says in verse 4 again, and Yahweh Shai answered and said unto them, take heed that no man deceive you, for many shall come in my name, saying, I am the Messiah, and shall deceive many. And ye shall hear wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. And it's going into the end of an age. The end of this age is not yet. Matter of fact, in the Amplified, it says, you will continually hear wars and rumors of wars. See that you are not frightened, for those things must take place. But that is not yet the end of the age. And the end of the age is Esau, Edom, the so-called white man. That's the 2nd Ezra 6:9, where it says that Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. Like, it's just so much shit going on, bro. Like, this guy Trump, like, you can just really see, like, it's done. This place is cooked. There's no coming back from what this guy's doing. Verse 7, it says, for nation shall rise up against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines, see, and pestilence, and earthquakes in divers places. All these are the beginning of sorrows, and famine goes into no food. Okay, people just barely scraping by, living check to check. The fucking gas, when you were paying an extra, let's just say for instance, you got a small car, you got a little car, and you normally can fill your small car up for $20. You got a full tank, $20. Now all of a sudden it's costing you 35, damn near 40 to fill it up. So you're looking at, that's an extra almost $100 a month damn near. That would be $1,200 a year. You know what I'm saying, so to speak. That's money that's going towards just fuel. to get you back and forth. That's money that's coming out of your everyday things that you was already doing. You know what I'm saying? Like $80 a month, $100 a month. That's like an extra fucking cell phone bill or something like that. About or like it's another bill. And then it's crazy because the way Trump and them acting, they talking like, oh well, we don't get no oil out of the Strait of Hormuz. That's not affecting us. We don't, it has nothing to do with us. But at the same time, why the fuck is the gas going up there? And it's continuing to rise. So if the diesel goes up, well, the diesel is crazy work right now. The truckers got to get your food to the supermarkets and these Walmarts and all this other shit like that. So you don't they're gonna tack that on to the prices of your food. They're not gonna absorb that shit. They're not gonna be like, oh well, you know what? Let me love my customers. Let me help them out. Nope, they're gonna tack that extra 25 cent on to some shit, 50 cent, extra dollar. Shit crazy as hell right now, bro. A bag of fucking chips. Hey, shit is not what it used to be, bro. Let me go into the Apocrypha real quick. And I was just in this yesterday too. Ecclesiasticus chapter 26. I think it was no, not chapter 26. I'm bugging. 16. Where's Lockyer? No, it's second Esdras. I'm bugging. I'm second Esdras. Let's start is verse 17. It says, woe is me, who would deliver me in those days? The beginning of sorrows and great mournings, the beginning of famine and great death, the beginning of wars, and the power shall stand in fear, and the beginning of evils. Yeah, it's about to get real wicked on this place, man. What shall I do when these evils shall come? Behold, famine and plague, tribulation and anguish are sent as scourges for amendment. But for all these things they shall not turn from their wickedness, nor be always mindful of the scourges. Behold, victuals, see the food, right? Victuals shall be so good cheap upon earth, that they shall think themselves to be in good case, and even then shall evils grow upon the earth, sword, famine, and great confusion. For many of them that dwell upon earth shall perish of famine, and the other that escape the hunger shall the sword destroy. So if you escape the hunger, shit, the sword gonna destroy your ass. And the modern day sword is that gun, man. Now you go back to chapter 15 here. Let me start from verse 14. Second Esdras 15 and verse 14. It says, woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh. And one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. Because this is a powder keg just ready to blow, man. For there shall be sedition among men. It's a totally different spirit in the planet right now. If you can't feel it, man, it's like, I don't know what to say. For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. So it's coming to a point where these people are about to go ape shit crazy. They're not going to care about no police officers, the mayor, the governor and the senator. And that's when, Esau going to send out them goddamn robotic dogs and damn drones and martial law y'all asses. It says, a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. And hell, you can pretty much say that right now with this damn gas. Just me speaking as a man, but it's a number of ways that people are not going to be able to go to another city. Military could be out. It could just be so goddamn crazy out here to the point where you're not going to want to leave your house. It says, for because of their pride, yeah, and this is a very prideful place. Because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. So if the men are afraid, you women going to be terrified. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of lack of bread and for great tribulation. See that lack of bread? that lack of bread, man. I know that that lady, she was I seen the elder in New York do a video on the lady that had a vision on the end, pretty much shit hitting the fans. And she was, going off into it, talking about how it was a fucked up time, basically, the way she explained the dream. But let's go into Baruch, because we ain't tripping on it, because you heathen deserve all this shit. You deserve what you're going through, and you deserve what you're about to go through, because this is just the start of it. You're gonna see this right here as easy times right now compared to what's coming. Baruch chapter 4, let me start at verse 30. Take a good heart, O Jerusalem, for he that gave you that name will comfort thee. Miserable are they that afflicted thee, and rejoiced at thy fall. And that's why you're seeing these Edomites and pretty much all these nations, because this was a smorgasbord of other nations of people too, especially in New York, and they're going through it. So it says, miserable are they that afflicted thee, and rejoiced at thy fall. Miserable are the cities which thy children served. Miserable is she that received thy sons, for as she rejoiced at thy ruin, and was glad at thy fall, so shall she be grieved for her own desolation. For I will take away the rejoicing of her great multitude, and her pride shall be turned into mourning. And that's what we're looking forward to right there, baby. So this right here is just the beginning. I'm going to some of these comments. Let's see what these people are talking about. Somebody says, I just bought orange juice for $3.99. Bananas are 49 cents a pound. Eggs, $1.49. Hamburger, $5.99 a pound for 85 with 85.15. Tomatoes, $1.49 a pound. Milk, $2.69 a pound. No, it's $2.69 a gallon. Chicken breast, $1.99 a pound. Okay. Somebody said, no, you didn't. I don't know where you at. That sounded a little bit. Somebody said, show receipts. Like, yeah, you lying. Somebody lying. Well, hold on. They do got this. Or they got a list with okay, from Joe Biden hookup. That shit ain't that now. Somebody says it's gonna get a lot worse for New Yorkers because Madami is going to totally ruin that city. Just watch. Yeah, well, he can't get no worse than what Esau is doing. It says, but to hear from MAGA, the Republicans have nothing to do with this. They hike food prices, rent, housing costs, energy costs, gas prices, healthcare costs, yeah, everything. Take away food security, aka EBT, which our own military troops are on. Yeah, they use it too. Then allow billionaires to take senior positions in government and determine what those beneath them need to survive. Yeah, hey, that's your average Edomite. Yep. A nation with more hungry Americans than during the pandemic isn't great again. It's failing its own people. Well, it's about design, man. They about to get ready to says drink a lot of water and eat ramen noodles. Yeah, motherfuckers been doing that forever anyway. It says yeah, that diet is great for growing children. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, they just squeezing the people, man. It's gonna come to that revelation, that market of beauty and the beast. They already got these data centers set up. They got these technocrats in position. They got everything set in order, and all they got to do is just do a couple more things and have you people going fucking nuts. Martial law in this bitch. Let's get Revelation 13:16. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. And they're already setting all that. That's already set. I can't even say they're setting that up. That's already set. It's just they got to just roll it out. They just got to roll it out, and they want really this place to just go into complete chaos. Because when it goes into chaos, now they can they can get it back in order. When they get it back in order, you know, pretty much they're gonna have the people begging for relief, man. And a part of that relief, they're gonna come like, hey, shit, come on down, bring the kids. This is microchip y'all asses, and you can come and get your rationings every month. We'll load your little card up, you know what I'm saying, or we can load up your microchip on you, and so you can wave it across the door to get into your local Walmart and be able to beep in and out of that bitch when you're getting your little food, telling you what you can get and can't get, what you can drink and what you can't drink, what you can't eat, the snacks and all this other shit. You've had your rationing for this month, so it's about total control. Chapter 14, Revelation 14 and 9, and it's entitled "Doom for Worshippers of the Beast." And the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, "If any man worship the beast and his image, and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of God, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation. And he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb." Which means, hey, it's going to be a serious, serious, serious punishment, especially to you, Jake, man. You so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, you Israelites. Because the Lord is extending a hand to you right now to repent. You need to repent to the Father Yahweh in the name of his Son Yahweh Shai. Because the Lord is about to bring complete destruction to these heathen, man, for what they've done to the children of Israel and what they've done to his planet. The Lord is going to destroy those that destroy the earth. And these people out here with all these damn rallies and they marching and they still, the same old shit every year. Marching, 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 marching. In the meanwhile, Israel done tuck your shit over. These technocrats have taken your shit over. Now they about to start surveilling your ass. And got the word police out here for your ass. You know what I'm saying? Your speech police. When you can't say certain things, it's already, they chopping into all this stuff right now. Revelation 16 and 2. And the first went and poured out his vial upon the earth, and there fell a noisome and grievous sore upon the men which had the mark of the beast, and upon them which worship his image. So that grievous sore gonna be upon the people. And they already talking about this Ebola shit. They're trying so hard to not let any cases into America. Man, these people, Esau, he can say anything and turn everything off or on whenever he wants to. That's why that Job 9 and 24 says the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covered the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where who is he? He has the power to say this or that, turn shit on and off. He's the one that's in power. He's the one that had the power to shut shit down during the pandemic and tell you to stand 6 feet from people and wear a fucking mask. He had that power, and he still has it. He's gonna come back again, and he's gonna, he's just ruffling the feathers of the people, because these people are through. People are stressed, man. People are a lot more stressed than they've ever been in this world. And so it's just a matter of time. We'll see how the shit gonna go. But in the meanwhile, this is nothing right here. This is just the beginning of sorrows right here. And the Lord told us to be not afraid. So a lot of shit that people normally would eat, they would, have to cut back on and just they go with some lesser. But everything is getting expensive. Even the shit that you would think that would be cheaper. You know what I'm saying? All that shit is going up too. But anyway, hey, pray that the lesson was edifying. Kwame Allah no bubble ball.